So in the previous video, we towed this little smart car, I think it's the 451, back home. It's not starting yet, it's got a dead battery. It stood for at least 2.5, maybe 3 years. We're gonna clean it soon, but now we're just gonna quickly hook up a battery and see what's what. Okay, so the battery lives under here in the passenger footwell. It looks like a fairly new battery. I can't see the date on it, but I'm going to hook up the C-Tech charger because it is totally flat. The car, we got ignition on by hooking up my old Suzuki battery to it. You can go check out the previous video where we towed this. It was quite a mission to get it on the trailer. Okay, we've got it hooked up to the C-Tech. We'll see. I'm going to put it on recondition. It's probably too flat still. And another thing that was an issue was the key wouldn't turn properly because I think it's just jammed up. So this is the only key. We'll make a duplicate at some point. I think this might have also gotten wet, but I think it still works. It's moving now, so I'll lubricate that at some point. Okay, nothing is going on, so it could be that the battery is completely dead or that it hasn't started charging yet. So the C-Tech is on, it's hooked up correctly, but it's not even showing anything here. So I've never seen that before. Usually it just at least starts. Maybe the battery is just so dead that it won't even start the C-Tech. So let's just check. Ha! 0.6 volts. Okay, so it's dead. Never seen it that low. What a fight. I had to rotate the battery up like this and then get it past this little plastic lip because I couldn't get it off, because I think that will mean removing this. Anyways, we got it out. The deadest battery that I've ever seen in my life. Okay, so I measured the voltage after removing the clamps, and now it's 2.5, but it's still not picking up anything on the C-Tech. Okay, so I cleaned the terminals with some sanding paper, and now it looks like it's at least picking it up. So it started the charging, and we can see that it's trying to send some voltage into it. So got the old Suzuki's battery connected, key on, ignition on. Let's see if the roof will close. Almost. I think what happens is it stretches, or it shrinks. I mean, there's a bit of a fold there, so maybe it got snagged on something. Anyways, we'll figure that out. This also needs power to open, and then under there lives the old 1000cc Suzuki engine. Oh, there we go. So this roof wouldn't close properly. I know they sometimes shrink, but it could be some other alignment issue because I can see it's bunched up here. But it stood outside for 2-3 years, and that means a lot of dirt got into the car. So it smells a bit moldy because there was rain as well. You can see this leaves and dirt and grime and lots of dirt. A little bit of a spider web there. But apart from that, it looks in excellent condition. The paint work is fine, there's no dings. It's just dirty. I pumped up the tires. There's only just one bit of a scratch there on the front corner, but that is nothing major. And then this hood, you're supposed to open it here with these catches that's hidden, and no one knows of that. So most people try to lift this up from the top and then break those fittings that goes in there. So you can see nothing much happens now. And that is why when you drive this, this thing now flaps all the way over when you reach a certain speed. Okay, that actually looks a bit like mold. So hopefully we can shampoo that and get it out. And then this is also cloth, this beige bit here. So that'll need a shampoo. Same with the door. That looks a bit like mold there. Okay, so I checked the oil, battery's connected. Let's give it a whirl. Almost. Sounds like it wants to go, but there's probably no fuel, or the fuel is probably 3 years old. I think I'm going to leave it there and first get clean fuel and then we'll try again. Looks like it worked. Yeah, it looks darker than it should. Okay, I'm not getting anything else out. So I'm going to assume that the tank is mostly empty. This is all I got out. The gauge said it was empty, or close to. So let's have a closer look at this and then pour in some new fuel. Okay, so that gunk in there looks like this. And here is the new unleaded. So look at the difference there. That is at least 2.5, maybe 3 years old. And this is brand new. So we're going to fill up the tank with 20 liters of the good stuff. Okay, not sure if the ignition needs to be on. Same control unit fault. Yeesh. Ooh. That's not good. Same control unit is the brain that lives under the glove box. Okay, I'm going into the SAM unit, reading the codes. No or incorrect CAN message. Oh, stored. Batteries in key are empty or wrong inserted. Remote control not synced. All of this looks like stored codes, probably because the battery was dead. I cleared all of them. System pass. Okay, I'm now in the OBD2, the engine, the generic one, and then we're just going to check if we can get the live data, because I want the fuel tank level. Okay, the dash says the fuel tank is close to low, so I'm just going to put in fuel and see what happens. Actually found values here, and it looks like the tank is at 9 liters. I'd love to get more out. So that means there might be 9 liters of that nasty gunk in there. I'm blowing on this hose. While it's siphoning more gunk out. That was after blowing it with a high pressure hose again. If we can get most of that 9 liters of fuel out, that would be awesome. Okay, we're gonna have a look now to see how much we got out. So I managed to get this much out. That's about 4 liters, I think. So let's see. Doesn't look like there's a mouse living in there. Ugh, look at that sand and critters. Okay, so I've checked the oil, checked the coolant, cleaned the air cleaner that was full of moths and dirt, and now I've also drained the fuel and put in 20 liters of fresh fuel. So now we're gonna activate the fuel pump for a minute at a time, and then so I'm in here in the engine control module on the Foxwell, and I'm gonna activate the fuel pump and see if it cycles. Okay, the fuel pump must run audibly, terminated after 1 minute. Can you hear it running? So the idea is to cycle some of the new fuel through the fuel rail, and hopefully it will bleed down back into the tank, and that way we've got fresh fuel at the fuel rail and injectors when we start to fire it up for the first time. At least the fuel pump's running, that's good news. There was no gunk in the bottom of the tank, it was just discolored fuel, so hopefully the fuel sock and the filter is not going to be clogged. I don't know if this is an inline fuel filter, please let me know in the comments if you know, or whether it's in the fuel pump assembly in the tank. Okay, that was 1 minute. I'm going to wait a few seconds and then cycle it for another minute, and then crank it and hopefully it goes. So I'm using this Foxwell 530 NT Plus that I bought for the Mercedes SLK, which you can check up here. And I never ended up needing it really, because I managed to reset the check engine light with the cheap Conway. But this has all the Mercedes, Smart and Sprinter software for all the systems, and there's a lot of systems on this little smart car. So I'm going to cycle it again for a minute. Can you hear it going? Now, one thing I forgot when I opened the airbox is to spray some quick start in there, but hopefully because I cycled the fuel pump twice now for a minute, there should be fuel at the injectors, and hopefully it's some of the clean fuel that I filled in just now. So fingers crossed. There's a whole bunch of fault codes which I'll clear later in a separate video, but for now we're just going to see if it cranks. Okay, so I'm going to look at the engine coolant temperature. I don't know if you can see the screen, it's very bright. Anyways, I'm going to check that and we're going to start it now. Foot on the brake. Not yet. Okay, so it's giving me RPM on the scan tool, so that means at least the crank positioning sensor is working. Okay, so we are back where I was with that white chimney behind me in one of the previous videos, where it would crank but it wouldn't start, and it doesn't even splutter, so I'm pretty sure it's spark, because we've primed the fuel pump twice, and again it doesn't even attempt to start. So we'll check for spark before we continue.